Hello and welcome to Mining Review Africa, and we are coming to you from Mining Indaba 2026. And right now I am speaking to Juanita, who's the manager of mining guarantees at Credeq Africa, about an exciting partnership that allows the company to expand its ever-growing footprint in Africa. Juanita, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Joe.
Now, mining rehabilitation guarantees have traditionally been a major constraint on mining companies' balance sheets. What gap did Credeq Africa identify in the market that led to the development of this new solution?
Gerard, so Africa is playing a very important role now in the global energy transition.
That's right.
So because of that, the governments in those various countries have really stepped up their game and started closing up on the regulations that relate to environmental rehabilitation. So because of that, a lot of these countries have also requested that when mining companies come and do business there, they have to issue bank guarantees to fulfill those obligations for environmental rehabilitation. So what we found that puts a lot of stress on a mining company, because they have this dilemma of the cost of capital of that bank guarantees, because bank guarantees consumes a lot of valuable credit lines, or that are, in certain cases, cash collateralized. So they've got this dilemma over there for the cost of capital and then also the regulatory compliance. So they have to assess that and try to see what they can do best in. Our solution, together with Lombard Insurance Company and Access Bank, unlocks that. It is an insurance-backed structure whereby it allows the bank to issue a compliant bank guarantee without that bank credit lines being eaten up.
Right. Now, you're bringing together three companies in this partnership, Lombard, Access Bank, and Credeq Africa. Can you tell me, how does each party fit into the structure, and why is this combination so important?
Absolutely, Gerard. So I think you can see the three parties. Firstly, you can see Credeq Africa, right, as the architects, I suppose. We are the guys that put the structure together. We underwrite the risk, so we're the architects. Then you can see Lombard Insurance Company as the fortress. They are principal insurer that takes the majority of the risk, and they bring that financial strength and credibility that's always been there. And then Access Bank, of course, they're the most important part of it. They're the bridge that brings everything together. So through their very large Pan-African presence that they've got on the African continent and the in-country knowledge that they have, they are the issuer of the guarantees in-country. So it's almost a solution that's bigger than a sum of its parts, I suppose. So,
okay. Now, Credeq Africa sits at the intersection of underwriting expertise and mining sector knowledge. How does your role as an underwriting management agency enable you to structure a rehabilitation guarantee that works across different African regulatory environments?
I would say the most important point as an underwriting management agent is that we're specialists. We're not generalists. So we don't do off-the-shelf products. We always try to think out the box. So that's our niche. That's what we do. So through this solution, I suppose that is where we have to think, how can we get to solutions, not to challenges? And I suppose that's what it brings. And then together with that knowledge and experience that we brought from Lombard Insurance Company, which we transitioned out of, and we had over 20 years of experience in the mining sector. So we truly understand the mining sector as well. So bringing that all together, I suppose, and then we stay close to our projects. Whilst our guarantees are out there, we oversight, we stay close to the project life cycle, we adjust our structures. We work with our clients to see when it needs adjustment. So yeah, I would say that's what it is.
Okay, now obviously mining is a business, and at the end of the day it needs to be commercially viable. So how does the structure benefit mining companies compared to traditional bank-issued rehabilitation guarantees?
100%. So, Gerard, a bank collateralized guarantee is very expensive for mining companies because it will eat up your available credit lines that mining company could use for development, for community investment. So it's locked up, and mining rehabilitation guarantees are out there for a very long period of time. So it eats it up. So liquidity becomes an issue. So through this solution that we developed with Access Bank, we will be the risk taker as the insurer and the UMA underwriting the risk. And then the bank issues the guarantees, but they don't consume any of the valuable credit lines of that mining company, because they'll consume the credit lines that they have with Lombard Insurance Company. So it just frees it up. The mining company has got its full credit lines, still with its banking partner, and they get this benefit of, yes, they've issued a bank guarantee, but in the background, it's an insurance company that takes the risk.
Gosh. Thank you, Juanita, for those insights and for joining us today.
Pleasure. Thank you.
And now I'm chatting to Peter Ford, who's the head of mining for the African subsidiaries of Access Bank. Peter, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Now, Access Bank operates across many African mining jurisdictions. Why was partnering with Credeq Africa the right fit when it came to delivering a compliant rehabilitation guarantee solution?
It's a really good question. Access operates in 16 subsidiaries across the continent, all of them being primarily dependent on mining. Access has being a Nigerian-founded bank, it's very risk-averse to hard rock mining. Obviously, oil and gas is very different here, but because of the sector in Nigeria, it's a very difficult sector to back. So as we've grown into our subsidiaries, it became more and more prevalent that we needed to really understand the sector and to be very active in the sector. So in the conservative approach, we started about 3 years ago, started off with a pilot program, which then brought me on board. We've grown that and is now a full sector offering that we offer across our subsidiaries. Part of that development and within Access is the need to innovate. And that was when, with the Credeq Lombard's team, we came across their initiative and willingness to expand into Africa. So really to innovate a product that brings new opportunities for our clients within our subsidiaries. And hence the relationship was born, and it's been a fantastic partnership to date. And hence the reason for Credeq Lombards. It's the willingness on both sides to enter into the new markets. So yes, and do it together in hopefully a risk-averse way.
Absolutely. Now, the structure allows guarantees to be issued without consuming mining companies' credit lines. From a banking perspective, why is that important innovation for clients operating in capital-intensive mining environments?
Absolutely. So in the license to operate, you need to have these financial instruments that are put in place, whether they're bank guarantees or primarily on the rest of the continent, it's bank guarantees. But if you can de-risk that, instead of consuming that bank guarantee, that credit line, that credit or that balance sheet can be deployed into growth assets, which we so desperately need. So it is really about the releasing of either cash backed for the guarantees or releasing the bank lines that can be used to develop further growth opportunities for our clients.
And finally, Peter, how does Access Bank's regional footprint and regulatory insights complement Credeq Africa's underwriting and structuring expertise in making this solution viable across multiple African markets?
So Access is present, as I said, in the 16 countries. In every single one of those jurisdictions, we are a complete wholesale bank, and we look to deploy our local balance sheets to our local customers to really act local and grow within quite a tight sector framework. Their skill set proved over the years in South Africa on financial and money guarantees is invaluable to us as we develop our in-country expertise. So we use their technologies with them to partner into our technologies, which is we've got full banking licenses in all of our jurisdictions. So we know the regulators and we know the markets in our own countries. So that's the partnership that is so invaluable to us.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like a win-win solution for both companies, but most importantly for the African mining sector.
We certainly hope so.
Thank you.